mission and the purpose of the REEC?
As I stated, I think the first part of it, and then the second part, dismantle racism. The words dismantle racism is to acknowledge and to say, by far, there's racism in Kenosha County. That's the part I have a hard time with, because you're making a blanket statement regarding something that's supposed to be investigated. So I don't agree with that blanket statement.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. My second question tonight is, on August 4th of 2020, the Kenosha County Board, this very body, declared that racism is a, quote, public health crisis here in Kenosha County. So my question for you is, are you aware of, or are you familiar with this resolution? Have you read it?
I am familiar with it. I glanced over it. Can you answer me a question?
Yes.
If you could, please. Define racism to me.
I guess in those simple terms, I would say treating people differently based upon their racial or ethnic background.
That's racism. That's what your definition of racial racism is. Therefore, it's that commission's definition of racism. Is that what that is? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not answering on behalf of the commission. I'm asking you questions whether you're interested in serving on the commission.
Well, to clarify, I was just asking you to clarify the question because you.
Okay, hold on. Let's not to have debate. Got a question, let's answer the question, but let's get it. I mean, we don't want to go all night.
Mr. Chair, I have 3 questions. I'm on my second question.
I understand it, but I don't want to almost like a debate. Everybody asking questions to each other.
Okay, then we'll just make these one-way questions then. Okay.
Let's go.
So my question is, this board declared in August of 2020 that racism is a public health crisis here in our community. So my question is, do you agree with that? Do you personally believe that racism has risen to the level of a public health crisis? And do you further believe that Kenosha County government should work to address this crisis?
I guess my question to that is, how is it a public health crisis? That's a very extensive issue what you're dealing with. Does that mean people are having more heart attacks? Does that mean people are having more panic attacks? Does that mean, see, health crisis is something different to me. That's the hard time I have with it. I think it's a very blanket statement to say it's a public health crisis.
Okay, well, this resolution was a several-page document, and it doesn't seem that you're familiar with it, but it does list in detail how it came to the conclusion that it was a public health crisis. All right, my third question for you would be, could you please share with us, this is just an opportunity to share whatever you'd like to, could you please share with us some examples over the past 5 to 10 years of ways that you've worked to help dismantle racism in our community? Again, dismantling racism is one of the goals of this commission. So could you share with us some examples of ways that you've worked to help dismantle racism?
Another question, were these questions asked of the original folks that were put on this commission, and was this a question that you asked of them?
Okay. All right.
Do you want me to go back and
He
forth?
answered your question. No, he answered your question. So do you have any more questions?
Okay. So my follow-up question on this is, could you share with us some examples of organizations that you've been a part of, or activities that you've participated in that have helped our community to realize greater racial and ethnic equity? Again, greater racial and ethnic equity is a purpose of this commission. So would you be able to share with us some examples of organizations you've been a part of, or activities that you've participated in that's helped our community to realize greater racial and ethnic equity?
Well, I am a chaplain who will speak to anybody and anyone of any racial background. I will help them as the Lord permits me to help them. I will answer as best I can their spiritual questions that they do have. I don't view people in the same lens that you're stating. I view them as being created of the image of God. Therefore, the only race that I see is the human race. I do understand your definition of racism. Skewed as it may have been, that as much as I can understand it. As I stated, when I have spoken at different groups, whether it be at a Moms for Liberty meeting or a campaign meeting or a meeting with a basketball team that I had coached years ago, I always took into consideration the audience that was there, and I only looked upon the audience as a whole, not as an individual race of people. Therefore, I think all my life I've always treated, I tried to treat people as fairly and as best I could, because they are people created in the image of God. And because I'm a Christian man, and I don't use this as any other thing other than that's exactly who I am. So to be implied otherwise, to say that I am somehow not sensitive to what other people may experience is absolutely false, and I take very large homage to that.
All right, thank you. So my final follow-up question on category 3 here is, could you just share with us, the opportunity to share with us, any examples of training opportunities that you have pursued or any certifications that you have obtained related to racial and ethnic diversity and inclusion?
Well, I know there's courses that I had taken during the course of my time as a police officer regarding all of those things. I can't remember all the certificates and stuff, but these were classes that I've had to take over the years. Forgive me if I don't remember all the names, it's been a long while since I've taken some of those courses, but I have taken courses in that. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you.